What's going on, guys? Thanks for stopping by for Let's Talk Handhelds Part 2, where we have two more consoles that we're going to talk about. We've got the Sega Game Gear right over here, we'll get to in a second, and the Sega Nomad. What's that? You don't know what the Sega Nomad is? Well, it's this bad boy, which you might be a little more familiar with, this good old Sega Genesis, which this is my favorite version of it, the version 1 with that beautiful volume control and that handy dandy headphone jack. But we're not here to talk about this. We're talking about the Nomad, which is a smaller, sleeker version that's squished into a cute little bite-sized version of the big old honkin' Sega Genesis, which if you look at the third version of the Sega Genesis, you can see where they really cut and shrank it into a smaller package. But anyways, this is the Sega Nomad, a portable version of the Genesis, which is super cool. It's very similar to the Sega Game Gear, which we'll get to in a minute. You literally just have a big old cartridge slot where you would put the game in. So I've got a box version of RoboCop vs. Terminator, still in there. So you take that and you, wow! I was just playing it earlier to see if it still worked. Unfortunately, I don't have the battery that would clip onto the back of it, because it was weird. I guess it either used a rechargeable battery at the time. It must have, because I've got something to share with you here in a second on that. I don't think it ran on AA's, but anyways, I got this. I think I found this at Goodwill. So you put this in there and you plug it in. It's kind of cool. It's got a decent D-pad. It's got 6 face buttons. You got your squishy mode and start button. Down here is where it gets really interesting. You've got the volume control and the headphone jack, just like the V1 Genesis over there, and your brightness slider. And what's that? It's a controller port for controller player number 2, which yeah, you could have 2 people play on this thing. And there's an audio and video out, so you could plug it into your TV. So it's kind of like a Switch in that way. So you could, you know, have it in handheld mode or plug it in your TV. So just for the sake of showing you, let's see if it fires up. Hopefully it doesn't get stage fright, and what do you know, it fired right up. First try. That is excellent, thank you, RoboCop. Yeah, I just blew through the first level on that, and it's really cool. So yeah, not much else to say about that. I wish I had, one of the common tropes with the Game Gear is it ran on like 6 AA batteries, so we would always have it plugged in. And the battery, or the connection to the AC adapter was always so loose, so you'd always lose. It would always shut down mid-game, and you'd lose all your progress. And it looks like it's a similar design with the Nomad, so that's frustrating. You got to have it in that perfect angle for it to cooperate for you. So yeah, that's the Nomad. It's pretty cool. 1 speaker on that side too. But enough rambling with that. You guys want to hear about the Game Gear, because that's where it's at. The Nomad came out in 1995, fun fact for you, and the Game Gear came out in 90, which is a very good year, you know, if I do say so myself. So here is the Game Gear in its cute travel sack. I don't really have any nostalgia with the Nomad, but the Game Gear was kind of cool because my Aunt Sheila had one long before I ever had any game systems, so it was technically the first, probably might have been the first game system I ever played. And she had 3 games. She had, which I'll get to here in a second. Inside here, we've got some interesting accessories. You've got an external rechargeable battery, so you can add more juice to the Game Gear instead of using all those batteries. You've got a little adapter that would plug into the back of it, letting you play Master System games, which came out right before the Sega Genesis. So yeah, that's a thing. I don't have any Master System games, so I've never been able to try that. And then I've just got a couple random manuals, one for Sonic 2 and then another one for Ninja Gaiden. So that's what's in there. We're gonna get back to those accessories because we're gonna have some fun with those. So here's the bag, official Game Gear travel bag. My Aunt Sheila, she always kept her Game Gear in this cool wooden chest, and I just have distinct memories of her of playing it at her place. So inside, this is inside there. I had that extra AC adapter in this compartment, so it was all full in there, and I just took the games out because we're gonna rank them here in a minute. But here's the Game Gear. Oop, hang on. There's the Game Gear by itself. And unfortunately, mine is it's in rough shape. It used to work, but now I think the capacitor is out in the screen or something because it doesn't show anything. And I've adjusted the brightness and everything because I think there's 1 or 2 brightness sliders that you can mess with. But yep, yeah, it would take 3 batteries on that side and then 3 more there. And you'd probably get about half an hour of gameplay with that. I don't know, but it was ridiculously short. So most people just plugged into the wall and went by their merry way, or I presumably used this rechargeable battery. But yeah, that's that. You may have noticed this crazy contraption that was on there already that I apparently bought for $1.38 at Goodwill. Thanks, Goodwill. That is a TV tuner. So back in the day, you could flip this bad boy up. That's a big ass antenna. And watch some boob tube on your Sega Game Gear. Baller. We've also got some other accessories here. Similar to the Game Boy Color magnifier, you've got one of those things for the Game Gear, which is called the Super Wide Gear. It had a fancy name, and I actually kind of like this version better. I think it's built a lot better than it was for the Game Boy Color, which is interesting. You got yourself another AC adapter, a couple of random AA's, but that's about it. So now for the fun part. We're gonna make the ultimate Game Gear here. We're gonna slap all 3 or 4 of these accessories onto this bad boy, and you have to do it in the right order, otherwise it won't cooperate. So I did this just earlier. Just bear with me. Okay. All right. So I think, yeah, which is absolutely ridiculous, but I love it when people do this with like current systems. They put on as many accessories as they can for something and they just make it utterly ridiculous. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like there was one more thing to throw on this. Maybe not. Yeah. Okay, so we got the battery on there, and that just screws into place. You can use a screw, or you can use a screwdriver, or you can use a coin, which I'll use here in a moment. Yeah, this part flips out. Maybe this has to go first. Yep, this part has to. The magnifier has to go on first, so that's what I messed up on the first time. Luckily, I didn't screw this in all the way, so it should hopefully come off fairly easily, maybe. Let's use my handy dandy nickel. There we go. Alright, so we'll do the super wide gear. And it looks like there was even a spot for a screw. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's just the screw that the battery uses. So now we'll slap the battery on here. The battery probably doesn't even work. I don't know. I haven't tested that part yet. There's really no reason to, since sadly the Game Gear doesn't work right now, and I haven't been brave enough to replace the capacitor in the screen yet. And people do amazing mods on the Game Gears and other retro systems where they put in modern screens and different rechargeable batteries. I've watched some amazing teardowns with it, but that's not what we're here for. Not right now. Okay, so we've got the magnifier on there. We've got the rechargeable battery on there, and now we're gonna slap that. Oh yeah! Just look at that. How badass is that? The ultimate Game Gear experience. Oh man! And just to compare how ridiculous this is in size compared to some other systems, we've got the sleek PlayStation Vita Slim. So you can really get a sense of how ridiculous that is. Yeah. So, yep. And then another size comparison is the OG Nintendo Switch, or the V2 Switch. So it's a little less. Yeah. It's quite something. No, I really get a kick out of this kind of stuff. But yeah, so that's the Game Gear. I've got a handful of games. I've got like 6 that we're going to talk about real quick. I'm going to put my Vita away because that's my baby. we've got, and these are, oh no, I lost my notes. Here we go. All right, we got 6 games here, which I'm gonna rank from okay to best. Starting with Echo. This is Echo Tides of Time, which is okay. I think the console version is probably a little bit better. The second one is going to be Original Snarg Narg Harg Harg Sonic 1, which is pretty decent. That's where she all started there. And then Sonic 2, and this one's probably, I rank that a little bit better because you can play as Tails. Ooh, I just like better because he can fly. And then the next one, number 3, is going to be, we got, I almost said Lord of the Rings, Lion King. Number 2, and this is one of the 3 games that Aunt Sheila had at her place. It's RoboCop vs. Terminator, which you just saw me fire up on the Sega Nomad. This was cool because she had this one, a random baseball game that we never played, and my favorite, Sonic Chaos, which is actually still in the box. This is the one that I would play the most. This is the one that all of my cousins played for the most part, just because it was so much fun. So this is everything that's inside a Game Gear box. In case you're curious, this is actually complete in box. We got the manual, which is super cool, the cardboard that was inside of it, and then the game itself. So that's Sonic Chaos was my favorite there again because you could play as Tails, and I just really liked him. And then if I was feeling edgy, I'd fire up RoboCop vs. Terminator, but I always felt kind of guilty playing that because I don't know if it was rated M, but it definitely should have been because there was a lot of blood and guts, and it was pretty violent at the time. But yeah, definitely a solid game. So yeah, I was going to talk about more stuff, but we're already at 12 minutes. And I really appreciate you guys stopping by to listen to me blab about some systems. And if you liked it, drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you want. And notification bell and all them doohickeys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!